So, what if you could run some seriously powerful AI models on the best GPUs out there, but without ever having to buy a server, manage any infrastructure, or, and this is the big one, pay for a single second of idle time? Well, today we're diving into a platform that promises to do exactly that. It's all about making serverless AI as simple as, believe it or not, writing a Python function.
Okay, let's just get right into it by tackling a problem that every single person in machine learning knows all too well. You know the drill, right? You get your hands on a beast of a GPU, you run your model, and then it just sits there, completely idle, burning a massive hole in your cloud budget while you're maybe debugging or just grabbing a coffee. It is such a huge waste of money and resources. And this really is the traditional headache, isn't it? I mean, you've got two bad options. Either make a huge upfront investment or get locked into a really pricey long-term rental. Either way, you are paying for it 24/7, whether you're using it or not. And on top of that, you basically have to become a part-time systems admin, juggling server scaling, container dependencies, and the whole DevOps nightmare. It pulls you away from what you actually want to be doing, building cool stuff with AI.
But what if there was a totally different way to think about this? Well, that brings us to the solution we're going to break down today. It's a platform called Modal, and it's designed to make that entire infrastructure headache just disappear.
So what is it exactly? To put it simply, Modal is a serverless platform built from the ground up for Python developers. It lets you run your code, especially those heavy-duty AI and machine learning tasks, on super powerful cloud GPUs. But the absolute killer feature is right there in the definition. You only pay for the actual seconds your code is running. The second it's done, the meter stops, period. I love this analogy because it perfectly captures the shift in thinking here. Using traditional GPUs is exactly like owning a car. You've got the high upfront cost, the insurance, the maintenance, and you're paying for it even when it's just parked in your driveway doing nothing. Modal, on the other hand, is like ride sharing. You don't own the car. When you need to go somewhere, a car, or in our case, a GPU, just magically appears. You pay only for that specific trip, and then it's gone. No ownership hassles whatsoever. Okay, this all sounds fantastic, but how does it actually work under the hood? I mean, how does Modal pull off this ride-sharing for GPUs experience without you having to manage a single thing? Well, the real magic is in its simplicity. So get this, the entire power of the platform, all of that complexity, is unlocked with a single, simple line of Python code. It's called a decorator. You just write a totally normal Python function, and then you add this one little line right above it. Here, we're just telling Modal, hey, whenever someone calls this function, I'm going to need an NVIDIA A10G GPU to run it on. That's it. That is your entire infrastructure configuration. And this is what's so brilliant. This shows what's happening behind the scenes the moment you call that function. See, you only have to worry about step one, writing your Python code. Modal automatically takes care of everything else. It packages up your code and all its dependencies. It finds and provisions the exact GPU you asked for. It runs your function, gives you back the result, and then it tears everything down in an instant. All that complexity just vanishes. So that brings us to the really big question, right? Is this the right tool for your project? Because, as powerful as this is, serverless isn't a silver bullet that solves every single problem out there. This table gives us a really great way to think about it. Look, Modal is an absolute game changer for bursty or unpredictable workloads. Think about an API for an AI app that gets slammed with traffic sometimes and has none at others. It's also perfect for rapid prototyping and, of course, for avoiding those crazy idle GPU costs. Now, on the other hand, if you need a model running 24/7 with absolutely zero startup latency, a dedicated server might still make more sense. And of course, this is a Python-first world, so if your stack is in Go or Rust, you'd probably be looking elsewhere.
So what are people actually building with this? Well, the applications are pretty much what you'd expect, and they're super cool. On-demand inference for AI features inside of apps is definitely the biggest one. But it's also fantastic for running training jobs that you only need to do every few days, or for processing huge batches of data without having to maintain a dedicated cluster. And honestly, it's just great for general experimentation, where you need a powerful GPU for an hour or two without any of the commitment.
All right, let's zoom out for a second and see where Modal really fits into the bigger picture and to the whole ecosystem of cloud tools. I mean, it's not the only serverless platform out there, so what really makes it unique? This comparison is super telling. If you look at something like AWS Lambda, it's serverless, for sure, but it famously doesn't offer GPUs. Dedicated servers, well, they give you GPUs, but they're the complete opposite of serverless. Replicate is a close competitor. It's also serverless with GPUs, but it's more focused on running models that already exist. Modal's unique sweet spot is that it is truly Python first, giving you the total flexibility to run your own custom Python code in a serverless GPU environment. And that really just brings us right back to the core idea, doesn't it? This is the main takeaway. The entire goal of Modal is to lower the barrier to entry, to make it incredibly easy to use powerful hardware. It just abstracts away all that infrastructure complexity and lets you, the developer, focus on the one thing that matters, your code. So I'll leave you with this final thought. For so long, access to powerful compute has been a major bottleneck for innovation. It's been expensive, it's been complex, and it's been slow. But now with on-demand, pay-per-second platforms like this becoming mainstream, that bottleneck is really starting to disappear. So the question is no longer can you get a GPU? The question is now just what will you build with it?